Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I am a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life. To share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to this episode. I'm so excited. This is going to be a fun one. It's one of my favorite topics and I cannot wait to get started. But first, I want to see how you are all doing. How are things going? How is your week going? It is Friday. Weekend is almost here and I am so ready. It's been an emotional week for me. We lost a family member this past week and it was sad. It was very sad. It was filled with a lot of emotions, but it was also such a blessing because although it was sad, it was a reminder on how beautiful life can be. It was actually my husband's grandpa who passed away, and he was a fantastic man. And he was just very full of joy and a lot of love and just gratitude for life. He was 94 years old, and it just gives me so much joy and excitement for life. And seeing how much he went through was such an inspiring thing to witness. But it has been filled with lots of emotions. And the more I have learned to step into my emotions, the more I experience them, the more I cry, the more I smile. But it's also so much easier to process them. And I love that. It has been a beautiful, beautiful week. I have a good friend who always says that grief is actually one of the most beautiful emotions that you can experience in your life. And I was a witness to that this week. It's been a long time since I've lost a loved one. And the last time I lost a loved one was way before I found out about life coaching and about knowing that I had an option and that our emotions are a beautiful thing that need to be embraced rather than pushed away. And experiencing a death of a loved one after life coaching was a beautiful experience. It was just very gratifying to cry about it, to be grateful about it, and to then be joyful about it. Seeing his life, seeing how much he loved and enjoyed his life, and just also thinking, oh my goodness, what a joy he must be feeling seeing Jesus. It gets me so excited. He was able to take Holy Communion ahead of time, and he was also given the anointment of the sick a couple of times before dying. And it's just like, what a beautiful way to go back to your home and to see Jesus again. What a party. They have to have a party for Grandpa up there. I'm just so excited. And yes, lots of emotions being processed right now and very much in gratitude. We get to see him a week before he passed, and it was such a blessing. Anyhow, this week, it has to do with emotions, but it's actually about our actions and why taking actions can be so difficult. The truth is, I was for a very long time someone who believed that all I needed to do in order to be successful and to achieve my goals was to take actions. That's it. That's all I need to do. I just need to force myself to take these actions and I will get there eventually. And that is partly true. It is true. But I think we waste so much time. At the very least, a lot of time is spent in procrastination. A lot of time is wasted and spent in postponing it, in suffering, is spent in overthinking, in overwhelmed. And that is how I spent a lot of my time for a very long time, anytime I had a goal. And the reason for that was that I believed that I just had to push through, and that if I wasn't willing and able to push through, something was wrong with me. And I find that a lot of time with my clients where they're like, I just want to get this done. Like, I want to achieve this goal, but I don't seem to take actions that are aligned. I don't seem to take actions that I feel like I need to take. And I think this also comes into play when you have different kinds of coaches in your life that are all about the action line. In coaching, we talk about the thought line, your feeling line, and then you have your action line. And this is probably too much information right now, but the action line is basically what you are doing. And there's an order to things. The way that I explain it to my clients is you have a set of circumstances. And in this case, perhaps this is your goal. Let's say that your circumstance is your goal. Like just simply put, goal. Then you have a thought about your goal, whether that is, I'm so ready, whether that is, I'm overwhelmed, whether that is, it can't happen, it's going to take a long time, it's going to be really hard. Whatever you believe goes in that thought line. And that thought creates an emotion for you. It's going to make you feel a certain way, whether that is excited, joyful, aligned, or it's overwhelmed, stress, and dread, right? You're going to feel a variety of different emotions depending on your thought. Now, that feeling is actually what drives your actions. And what we find is that a lot of the time when we are in procrastination is because our emotion is a negative emotion. It's something either stressed or overwhelmed. A lot of times when we find ourselves feeling overwhelmed, instead of taking actions, all we do is procrastinate some more. We feel like we just cannot handle it, which makes sense because if you're feeling overwhelmed, your body is in this reaction of, I can't do this right now. I'm not able to move forward. And your body's waiting for a feeling more of alignment or excitement or peace or desire. And if you don't have that feeling, it is much harder to take action. This last year, I was in that boat. I was in the boat or in the mindset of I need to grind and hustle really, really hard for my business to work. What I found was that the more I try to force myself to take actions that I did not feel aligned with or excited about, the harder it got, the heavier it got, the more exhausted I felt, and then nothing got done. Or if it did get done, I was just miserable in the process and afterwards as well. I'll give you an example. The beginning of last year, I started working with a consultant. It was a coach, but her focus was on the action line. And she helped me a ton with questions that I had that were more systematic, like just systems or automations. Pretty sure that's the word. She helped me with a lot of those questions. But what happened was that we would have a set of actions that we needed to take by the end of the day. Like each and every day, you had to cold text 10 different people and at random and see how you could help them. And for me, that felt so unbelievably icky. I don't even have another word. It was just very uncomfortable and unnatural for me. Because for me, I am a person that loves to grow in connection, in community, and getting to know the person and getting to know the person's dreams and struggles and what they want to achieve in their life. And creating that friendship with my clients. And it was really, really hard to just randomly text 10 people per day. And that's what I was being told is just get it done, just push through and get the action done. And then post 2 times a day. That's probably the most convenient for you to get more followers and then be on stories. And I was not aligned with those actions. I was being told that that's what I needed to do. And anytime that you have the thought of, I need to do this, I have to do this, you feel awful. It is not an aligned action. It's just something that you feel forced to do. And it doesn't create as much results as when you do something that is natural or you feel called to do. The problem that we have is that we think we need to just forcefully take actions and it'll get done. We'll just get it done. It doesn't really matter without checking in how we are feeling and what we are believing about ourselves. When we don't check in with our beliefs and our emotions, the actions are being driven by willpower. And the thing is that there's only so much willpower that we can carry through or that can carry us through. I remember when I was in the process of weight loss, that was one of the things that I came across. I can only willpower not eating sugar and flour for so long. And then after that, I will give in. I will give in to quitting or changing my mind or believing that I am not good enough, that I cannot stick to things. And if you are having thoughts of like, my goodness, why can't I take action? Why can't I just get the thing done? Why am I not achieving my goal or taking actions that I know I need to take for my goals? The reason for that is because you're having a thought and you're having an emotion that has not been processed. Until you're able to process those thoughts and those emotions, it is so to move closer, to move a step forward, to take a step in fear, in doubt, but to take it because you know that you are feeling called to do that particular thing. I realized that prior to adding life coaching to my weight loss journey, all I was doing was willpowering my way through. And so what would happen was I would stick to a diet for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then I would binge. Like I would just like eat cake and eat cookies because it was just awful and I was hating every minute of it. And I felt restricted and had so many emotions that had not been processed that then I needed to tame them rather than allowing my emotions to be with me at all times, even when they feel terrible, even when we feel like we're not moving forward, even when the action we need to take is uncomfortable. When you pay attention to your thoughts and your emotions, then the action comes through naturally. Because here's the thing, our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings drive our actions. If your emotion that you are consistently having is something along the lines of doubt, fear, overwhelmed, stress, confusion, your brain is going to want to stay in that emotion, and that will cause you to procrastinate. It'll cause you to postpone, to create reasons why you shouldn't do it, to believe that you need some external validation in order to take this action. And it will create this cycle in your life where you are postponing your goal. We believe that we need some sort of stamp of approval or a stamp of you're ready in order for us to go after our dreams and to go after our goals. But the thing is, that approval comes from within you. You need two things. You need God's desire placed in your heart, which if you have a desire, you know it's there. And you need your own decision to go after it. You are in consistent work with Jesus. He has placed the desire in your heart. He will make the way for it, but you need to give him your loaves and fish. It doesn't just happen. You need to show up. You need to take action. It is true. But in order for you to take consistent action and in order for you to take aligned actions, you need to check in within yourself, how you are believing, what you are believing about yourself, and how you are feeling in the particular moment. And this is a process, right? It is not a once and done, oh, I felt this emotion, I'm over it. Now I get all the actions done. This is a work that I do daily. It's a daily practice of, oh, I'm feeling procrastination. Oh, I'm feeling fear. And so allowing myself to feel fear and to check in, what am I believing about this thing that I'm about to do? And when you learn to recognize those thoughts and process those emotions, then taking the action is natural. Not only do you want to take the action, it's like a desire so deeply in your heart and an excitement to get it done because you have those people to show up for, or because you have this goal that you're achieving. Whatever your reason is, whatever your desire is, it's meant to be created. And so, in order for you to take aligned actions and inspired actions, it's so important for you to check in and see how you are feeling. The mistake that we make is thinking that we need to take actions at all times in order for it to work. And the thing is, I think you need to take aligned actions. I think we need to take inspired actions and brave actions, courageous actions in order for us to move the needle forward. It doesn't have to feel like a hustle. It doesn't have to feel like grinding every single day. It's going to be uncomfortable anytime you do something new, right? However, when you check in and you connect with yourself, taking those actions gets easier and easier as you go. Remember that you're stepping into a new version of yourself. And so in this moment, you are battling with whom you used to be and whom you're becoming. You're in the becoming stage. And in this stage, what will carry you through is actually checking in. It is not hustling. It's not going to be pushing through to get the actions done. It is feeling ahead of time in order for you to take those actions from a place of alignment, of joy, of security, of courage, taking those actions from a place of love rather than forced or a mandatory thing that you have to do. Here's what I'm going to tell you: you do not have to do anything. You get to do some things, but you get to choose which actions you actually want to take. The only way you are going to find out what those actions are is to slow down, to check in, to connect with a person of you who already has everything that you really, really want to achieve, praying, and then thinking about how you want to move forward. You do not have to listen to absolutely everything that everyone says around you. You are going to create your version of success in your way. It is not going to be my way. It is not going to be Susie's way or Johnny's way. It's going to be your way, the way that God is going to lead you, the way that He is going to teach you. This is why we're always hearing to not look to the sides. Do not look at the journey that the fella next to you is having, because God is teaching you something in your journey, and you can only learn it in that journey. Every step of the way is worth it, and it's a progress towards becoming you, fully you, and achieving the goals that have been placed in your heart. This is also why the process that I go through with my clients is so powerful. And it is also the same process that my coaches go through with me. It's because it's personalized. We are not going to tell you exactly what to do, because the thing is, 99% of the time, those answers to the things that you're like, I'm not sure what I want to do, are within you already. You have access to those answers already. So, our job and my job as your coach is to support you and to help you find clarity within yourself on the actions that you want to take, to find clarity on those thoughts and the beliefs that are keeping you stuck, and to help you process those emotions that you are feeling that are keeping you in the same place or growing at a rate that is much lower, because we spend so much more time in overwhelm, doubt, fear, rather than in alignment, joy, and courage, right? We can have, if you question yourself and you check in, check how much time you are spending in overwhelm, doubt, insecurity, confusion, not sure of that, not sure of that, compared to the times where you're aligned, getting things done from a place of excitement and alignment. For me, when I checked in, it was very much that. I was spending 80% of my time in overwhelmed, in insecurity, and I'm not sure what the right niche is. I'm not sure what the right marketing strategy is. I'm not sure if I should do a podcast now or if I should wait. I spent a lot of time in overwhelmed confusion and struggle. But when I allowed myself to check in with my emotions and my thoughts, then things started opening up. Then it was like, okay, what do I actually want to create? And that's how the podcast happened almost a year ago, which is crazy. And I did it regardless of what everybody else said. I decided to do it because it felt amazing in my heart. I was just so driven and felt so good to do it because it was natural to me. It was what I desired to do. And I've enjoyed every single episode, every single week. It is my pocket of joy when it comes to my business. I'm like, I'm so excited to do this podcast and I love it. Where there are people who don't do a podcast for years simply because that's not who they are. And that's why it's so important to have someone guiding you and supporting you in your particular way. Your journey is your journey and your journey alone. And that's the beauty of life coaching. I'm supporting you in your journey only to help you get clarity in your thoughts, process your emotions, and get to your goal faster with so much less resistance. Because when you have someone walking with you, And when you have someone like helping you find that clarity and ditch those thoughts that are keeping you in confusion, it's so powerful. And it's so much fun because we get to see our goals come into reality so much faster because we spend so much less time trying to do the actions that someone else is telling us to take. But instead, we check in with our Heavenly Father and we check in with ourselves to see what He is calling us to do and what we feel aligned with. And when you take those actions, that is how we get to our goals, is enjoying the journey and checking in daily to see what thoughts are coming up, what feelings are coming up, and what actions we want to take from here. My friend, it is a gift. But if you are having a struggle right now where you don't know where to move, you are confused, first and foremost, know that I'm here for you. Reach out at the Catholic Life Coach on Instagram. And you can also reserve a time to chat with me if you want to go through some things and check on your goals and get some answers. I'm so happy to support you and to chat with you. But one of the things that you can do right now is check in how many of those actions in the action list that you have or the to-do lists you have are actually coming from within you and something that you desire to do, and how much is just busy work trying to do what everyone else is saying that you need to be doing. And this applies to anything in your life. It applies to weight loss, it applies to your business, it applies to your family, it applies to your personal life, and it applies to our faith. What are you doing because you're being told? And what are you doing because you know you want to do it, because you feel called? And this is also something that keeps us from going into who we really want to be, is trying to fit in with what everyone else is saying that we need to follow. Do not judge yourself for not taking actions. Instead, spend some time checking in why you're not taking the action. Get curious with yourself gently. Why am I not taking the actions that I know I want to take? Like for me, one of the things was like going to daily mass. Why am I not going to daily mass? And my thought was, I'm too busy. But are we? Question, and then question some more until you feel that sense of grounded, where you know that this is where you're headed and this is the action you need to take. But before you get busy in the hustle, check in, slow down, see where you're headed. And I cannot wait to hear from you guys. It's so much fun. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And until next time, God bless. If you are ready to reach your goals with more love, ease, and joy, then this is the perfect time. I will help you overcome the limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And I will help you process and embrace all of your emotions and use them to empower you instead of using them against you. It is powerful, and I have opened up just a few spots to join me in a one-on-one coaching setting. This setting is phenomenal. You get so much support, so much encouragement, and I walk with you each step of the way. It's gonna be so much fun. If you are interested to find out more, all you need to do is click the link in the description and sign up for a free consultation. All right, I will see you next week. God bless.